everyone, it's me, Rachel Fisher, and I'm back with another top 10 list, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun making this one. It was great. As I was surfing the internet for all of these products, I found myself having some pretty good laughs, especially at the ones I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, I remember when that came out. That's crazy that was even invented. From ambitious new vehicles to questionable entrees, today we'll be covering our top 10 embarrassing products from famous companies. Let's get started. Coming in at number 10, we have Elon Musk and Tesla's Cybertruck. Remember when they said the Titanic was unsinkable? Well, Elon helped create a car that was supposed to be indestructible. But based on the history of people claiming the impossible, we can guess how this one went. Innovator, industrial developer, and engineer Elon Musk founded the company Tesla with the goal of creating electrically run and environmentally friendly transportation for land and the sky. Definitely an idea I support, but of course there were some bumps along the way. The company has had many successes, but the Cybertruck wasn't exactly all it lived up to be. The car was made of cold-rolled steel, which was designed to make the car indestructible. Impressively, they slammed a sledgehammer into it and it didn't even make a dent. But when they tried the window of the car, well, not exactly what they were expecting. So he's got some kinks to work out. It's a work in progress, but no doubt this was definitely an embarrassing moment in the launch. Coming in at number 9, Trump steaks. Look, I know we have a lot of things to make fun of beyond this, but we had to put Trump steaks on this list. That's right. Before becoming president, Trump found another way to raise the stakes in his career by coming out with his own brand of meat through Sharper Image, which is a company that sells a bunch of stuff. According to Trump, these were the best of the best, the world's greatest steaks. So how did this campaign only last 2 months in the summer of 2007? Because I guess nobody wanted to buy meat from the same place that sold electric massage chairs and golf club driver beer dispensers. So one would never think steak salesman would be just below the title of ex-president, but as we know quite well on this channel, anything can happen. Coming in at number 8, we have Coca-Cola green tea. Look, being health conscious, it's a good thing. Maybe swapping out that soda every now and then with a water for lunch. That's a good idea. But for companies like Coca-Cola, that's definitely something they don't want you to do, because then who's gonna drink all the Coca-Cola? So it's no surprise that this iconic pop chain jumped on the health bandwagon and tried to make people feel better about drinking a ton of sugar. So they launched Coca-Cola green tea in Japan in 2009. Given that the market they were targeting consumes 600 grams of green tea per person, this product should have been a knockout. A can of Coca-Cola green tea was supposedly packed with the same amount of antioxidants and nutrients, but tasted just like the beverage we know and love. Unfortunately, it actually didn't. The product flopped because basically it tasted really bad. The product was never able to launch globally, which is why you've probably never heard of it, and that's maybe a good thing. Coming in at number 7, Cheetos lip balm. Remember those little packages of lip balms you'd get for your birthday or Christmas, or like in loot bags at birthday parties? That had a ton of flavors like cherry cola, root beer, Cheeto. Wait. Cheeto flavored lip balm? Yeah, that sounds awful, doesn't it? Well, it was a real thing until the product entirely tanked. Man, we've all been guilty of like licking our fingers after diving into a bag of cheesies. At least I definitely have. So with this logic, Fritos Lay's thought that, of course, a Cheeto flavored lip balm, it's the next best thing. But instead of the Cheeto dust flavor, the product smelled like moldy cheese, but most importantly, it didn't even do its job well. Like, much like Cheeto dust, it didn't moisturize the lips at all, receiving a thumbs down from all those who tried it. Coming in at number 6, we have Colgate kitchen entrees. Not everyone can be a Renaissance man. If you're great at one thing, maybe stick to that, which is exactly the thought that went through the public's mind when Colgate kitchen entrees was released. Yeah, you got that right. You know Colgate, the toothpaste brand you most likely have in your bathroom right now, unless it's like Crest or Sensodyne or Arm & Hammer. But now, imagine that name right before the word chicken or lasagna or crab meat. I mean, if you're like me, you can't help but imagine like minty chicken and vegetables with the side of icy fresh, you know? Like Listerine gravy. Colgate decided to pair off with palm olive in order to crack into the $4.2 billion convenience food field in 1982. But as you can imagine, it didn't go too well for them for exactly all the reasons above that I described. People couldn't separate minty fresh from food, and it just didn't work. Coming in at number 5, we have Bic Parfume. Speaking of people who wanted to break out of what they are good at, let's talk about Bic. You know Bic, the company you see when you use a pen, or when you use a razor, or when your friend goes to light a candle. Yeah, that Bic. Well, now imagine instead of using the lighter to ignite a fancy candle for your fancy night in, it sprays you with perfume instead. At that, I'm sure your brow furrowed, as did mine. Somehow those two images, like, just don't go quite together, especially if you don't want to smell like a lighter fluid. Well, Bic gave it a shot by lighting their very own perfume line designed to look like lighters. The product was made entirely in France with the hopes of creating a low-priced perfume category that could be used spontaneously. It would have been totally genius if it worked, but sadly for Bic, the products disappeared within 7 years. Though they were initially supposed to be sold for $5, now they are collectible items and are being sold at a minimum of $50 on eBay. I don't know, maybe they should try again. Are we into it? Maybe we're into it now. Okay, let's go. Let's give it a shot. Number 4, the Twitter Peak. If you live and breathe Twitter, then you've probably heard about the Twitter Peak, and some of you may have even purchased one and discovered why it's on this list. From 2009 to 2010, for $200, you could have purchased the Twitter Peak, a device designed specifically for Twitter, except it was utterly useless. Besides the fact that by that time, people already had smarter phones and QWERTY keyboards, the Twitter Peak couldn't do its one job. The screen only allowed you to view like 20 characters, which resulted in an annoying amount of scrolling. Plus, if you wanted to press on a link so you could get whatever joke Ellen was making, you couldn't even do that. It was also a single-use device, no emails, no Insta, no texting. It was all for Twitter, and it failed miserably. Twitter Peak. You literally had one job. Coming in at number 3, we have the Evian bra. This next one is for all the people who wear bras. Don't you just wish on those hot summer days that you just had something to help you cool down? Well, Evian had you in mind when they came out with the water bra. That's right, the famous bottled water company wanted to infiltrate Victoria's Secret. So in 2005, their revolutionary idea was to come up with a bra that had refillable water filters inside it. I mean, sure, not the worst idea. Needless to say, this questionable product did not take off and was discontinued. However, if you are looking for something similar but far more useful, wine bras exist. And yes, it's exactly as it sounds. Coming in at number 2, we have Bic for her. So if you're like a girl, it's so hard to use pens that aren't designed for our fingers, you know what I mean? Like men pens, ugh, they suck. Especially if they aren't pink. So like honestly, thank God Bic came out with the pens just for her. And it's more expensive, so no, it's good. And the Amazon reviews are great too. Check these out. Ashton_star says, "Thank goodness I can finally own a pen that will never see the light of a math lab. This is a message approved by my husband." Wow. So touching. Oh, and this one from Snap Happy Girl. She says, "Now my lady hands don't hurt after taking dictation from my boss." Wow, this pen is changing lives. And lastly, from the Lakeview family, my husband got me these lady pens because I find man pens to be so taxing. Thank God he knows what a delicate flower I really am. Ugh. That is the commercial slogan they had in mind when creating this product. The Bic for her pen. This product led legions of women to make snarky comments like the ones above because like what? What were you thinking? The theory behind, like, what do you mean? The theory behind it is that oftentimes advertising agencies mainly base their branding on the data they receive and neglect the perspective of the consumer they're targeting. So perhaps Bic was noticing a dip in their female consumer population and went, you know how to fix this? We're gonna make a pen and make sure women know it's for them. Does that reasoning make this product less embarrassing? No. But maybe if they came out with paper for women too, we'd have something to write on. Ugh, wow, what a missed opportunity. You're telling me you made a time machine out of a DeLorean? Number 1, we have the DeLorean. Though this one technically still got a ton of attention due to its starring role in the Back to the Future series, the DeLorean is one of the most famous flops in history. This car has so much going for it and was the dream steed of car manufacturing legend John Zachary DeLorean. One of the youngest department leaders at General Motors, he was known for making cars like the Bonneville and the Pontiac GTO become best sellers. So, of course, people had high hopes for the car and the company, the DeLorean Motor Company, named after the man himself, to be amazing. But the company would only produce one car, the DeLorean, before its eventual demise. It was supposed to be the world's first ethical sports car, boasting that it would be half the weight of a Corvette and would have better fuel consumption than a Porsche. But the overall performance of the car was lackluster and expensive, eventually leading to the bankruptcy of the DeLorean Motor Company. But it doesn't end there. DeLorean was desperate, and in order to solve his financial issues, was enticed into a drug deal by crooked FBI informant Jim Hoffman, which resulted in his arrest and the collapse of the company. Not only was the invention of the DeLorean embarrassing, but it caused the destruction of the inventor's career. I'm sure he regretted that one. I hope you enjoyed this list as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you think we missed any. My name is Rachel Fisher, and I'm gonna see how many pens I can use after I eat my Colgate frozen dinner and cool down with my EVIAN bra. Until next time, take care, guys. According to Trump, these were the best of the best. The best of the best. The world's great. That was an awful impression. Don't do that. Da-da-da, do-do-do. Okay, this one's really fun. Coming in number 3, we have the EVIAN bra. Oh my god. And last but not least,